Okay, so I'm just going to jump right into it. I have a 7-year-old daughter. I don't always have the time or the energy to do a full wash, blow dry, braid, perfection all in one day. So I will break them down piece by piece depending on the scheduling of the month or the week. So this time she just had a mohawk hairstyle and she had it in for maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So it was time for me to start prepping her hair to get ready for a new style. And I knew I wasn't finna wash her hair. So in between that waiting period, I tried to do a quick hairstyle on her so she don't fall through the cracks again. Because the last time I went through a patch, I mean, it was the first time this ever happened. Her auntie picked up the slack that she was noticing, especially when it came to her hair, and she did her hair. And I can't lie, the hairstyle was cute. I remember it. It was lemonade braids all the way to the side. Now, what was sad about that hairstyle was when I was taking it down, her hair was falling out. I'm talking about like her hair was falling out. It was falling out so bad that in the front, it's like a whole braid or a whole little section of her hair fell out in the front. Like she was shaved bald right there. Like that piece is starting to grow back. You can't even really tell anymore. But if you notice in the video where I was parting, she has a bald spot. And I'm not going to lie, that is the first time I noticed that. So I'm not sure if it happened last year or if it happened sometime earlier in the year, but that right there is something that I should have been able to see, but I'm glad that I was able to see it now. That little patch, if you want to avoid those things, do the micro hairstyles in between the times that you know that you're just not going to be able to give it 100%. Even if you got 10% energy, give the hair 10% energy so you can be able to make it to the next day or whatever it is that you need to get to. Don't just neglect the hair and hope for the best. Don't do that, because you're going to be backtracking all your forward progress. So anyways, with the ponytail, I split it into 4s, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. I start with the ear to ear parting. Instead of parting from the tip of the ear, I like to start behind the ear itself and work my way up. That is the best way to get a proportional front and back parts before you hit the center. After you part the hair off, we're gonna get to that. Notice her hair is kind of freshly taken down to the point where you can kind of see the old partings that were there. That is also a good thing, because sometimes you can follow those partings so you can have an easy little guide. But no, I did not wash her hair before this hairstyle, hence why it is a micromanaged hairstyle. Ponytails can be one of those hairstyles that you slick up to the T, but they can also be one of them hairstyles you just do because it needs to get done. So once you're done parting the hair in 4 sections, 2 in the front and 2 in the back, it's time to get to the fun part, the best part. So spritz that section with some warm water. Get you a little spray bottle, and when I say warm, it does not mean purposely pour out whatever water you have to go get warm water. It just means make sure it's not ice cold, make sure it's not too hot. It'll most likely be room temperature. But anyway, spritz that hair to keep it from being dry. It don't need to be damp either, but it do need some moisture. You will take some leave-in conditioner as well to go ahead and apply it to the section. This already allows the hair to suck up some moisture and get soft instead of moisturizing it piece by piece. The goal is to get a quick hairstyle, and a quick hairstyle for me is within a 4-hour period. If it takes anything longer than 4 hours, it is not quick. And I round it up to 4 hours. It could be 3 hours and 15 minutes. It could be 2 hours and 45 minutes. The goal is quick maintenance, a quick hairstyle, something to get me through the week. You will notice me using that toothbrush a lot to scoop up the gel within her hair. The brushes be too big to really use them the way I be needing to use them, like in the tight, small places. So I end up using an old toothbrush and made that my edge brush. So anytime I part her hair, or I even use it to scoop up ponytails, I don't always have a brush because, she'll start using them to play with her dolls and everything again. I get tired of buying brushes. Ain't nobody finna use no toothbrush. And if you don't know how to braid, let me know. I could try to make a braid video. How I learned how to braid, I'm not gonna lie, I acted like I did. Like, I would take the 3 pieces and I would just do the hand movement that they said that you would do. And I would just keep doing that, and I'd just be grabbing hair. Like, my focus will not be perfect. The focus is me just doing it. Can I do it? And I grew from there. So if you're interested in me making a braiding tutorial and all that, just come in and let me know, and I can do that. My son was over there tripping. He acted like he didn't want to go to the bathroom. So he was really starting to kind of piss me off in the middle of me doing her hair, because that's diabolical. Going to the toilet seems to be hard for you because you want to watch Spies in Disguise. Like, I do not be liking that fact at all. But back to the ponytail. I did like maybe 3 or 4 sections within each of the parts. So this was gonna go by fast. I know I didn't wash her hair, and I knew I couldn't do too much, because if I put too much product within her hair, that's another thing. I'm glad that I'm even talking about this. When you are doing the quick in between styles and you're not finna wash your hair, do not, by all means, heavily apply products. Like, you see me spritz the water and you see me dab a little bit leave-in conditioner, but do not. That's why the hair does not need to be damp. Do not soak that hair in excessive products when there are already products on the hair. That's really why if you spritz the water, the products will reactivate. So don't over apply products within the hair. But yeah, I did like 3 or 4 parts. Damn, it looked like I did only 3. I did 3 parts within the section. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me take a break. Okay, so yeah, I did 3 parts all the way up until the front right section. I did a little design or something, but that's when we get up there. So I did 3 parts all the way around. So this hairstyle took me, I would say, a little under 4 hours. I'm not gonna lie. We was able to watch the whole Spies in Disguise movie. And if I'm not mistaken, I might have started one more movie, but I'm not even sure what that movie was. But within the sections, when it comes to the gel, because I already used the toothbrush to apply the gel, and we already got 3 sections in each parts, how much gel do I need if I already said don't over apply products? I really just scoop a little bit into my fingers and then kind of smash it down between my thumbs and my index finger, and then I just quickly apply that throughout the whole part of the hair that would need the gel for it to still kind of be neat and slick. So after I do that and I swoop it all up, like I said, I just get to the braiding part. Now, when it came to braiding the hair natural, here are a few things to look out for when you are braiding the hair natural, because this is without the blow dry step. Like, I have started to skip the blow dry step because it just added a lot of extra times, and I really only recommend the blow drying step if you finna do a hairstyle that you really intend to last for a long time, or you want to do something real cute and take your time with it. I really do recommend doing the blow drying, because you don't have to worry about your hands getting caught within your natural hair because of the going under and twirling. Like, your hair already natural, so when you braid it natural, it's more prone to get tangled within the braid of you doing the braid, not after it's done. But here are a few tips. 1, there's nothing wrong with braiding the hair natural. Just make sure the hair is moisturized and have that spray bottle next to you, because although it might be moisturized when you start, understand your hair is thirsty, so it might suck all that up. So have a spray bottle next to you. Detangle and make sure the hair is thoroughly combed out. And we all know that once you comb the hair, you let it sit, that sometimes that shit look like it's gonna be nappy again. But no, that don't be the case. It'll shrink up and shrink down, but when you properly detangle the naps out, you won't have too much to worry about. Another one, if you know your hair shrinks a lot fast, I recommend you pre-stretch your hair before you braid it. And since this is a style that we took down, the hair should already be pre-stretched, especially if you're taking down a braided hairstyle or anything where the hair had to sit in twists. The hair is already pre-stretched, so it shouldn't take you much to braid up the hair without a struggle. And to clear up earlier when I was talking about braiding with your natural hair, your natural hair is curly, whether your curls are short, small, 3C, 4C, whatever the fuck that type shit. That shit don't matter. Because folks will consider my hair to be 3C, but that be in the conditions when I literally had to twist my hair, let it dry, and then I stretched it out, and then you considering my hair 3C just because what? My curls look loose because I twisted my hair. Like, when you put a little effort into your hair will do the things that you want it to do. It ain't gonna do it fast overnight, but consistency really is key. But braiding with your natural hair, your hair is just curly. So what I meant by under twist and stuff, yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. What I meant by under twist and, getting tangled, when you are braiding to the scalp, you are not only braiding going through your hair that you already have in your hand, you are trying to pick up more hair and separate it at the same time while you're braiding into more hair. So it's prone to get tangled faster when you're doing it that way. So just to clear up what I was saying earlier. Another important thing when it does come to braiding your natural hair, that's also why we like to blow dry our hair. We prefer to blow dry our hair because it reduces the stress and the time. I cannot lie about that, but it is educational to know how to do your hair in its natural state always, because it gives you more understanding when you do want to book appointments and you want to understand why people want this, that, and the third. It helps you to know that, okay, because when I braid my natural hair, I got to go through this, or I got to do this, or I got to make sure I do this. It just keeps you aware of the situations. It also helps you make better choices when it does come to your hair because you already have the knowledge required when it comes to you natural. It helps to know your natural self first before you add on to it, because if you're just adding on without understanding the foundation of you, you kind of get confused in who you are down the line. So that blow dry method is extremely important and helpful, but don't make it a clutch because heat damage does happen over time. It is a consistency thing regardless of the products. In my opinion, I feel like the products also reduces the heat damage that can occur at that time, but after a while, the heat damage is going to start showing up. So it really just depends on how much heat and how often you use the heat. But like I said, don't make blow drying a mental blockage for you when it comes to doing your hair. Learn how to play with your hair. Learn your hair. Just get into it and experience first so you can understand everything. Okay, so we can get back into the ponytail. So we made it to the front. In the front part of her hair, she wanted the letter N to go with her name. So I went ahead and quickly put that into her hair. How do you put letters into your hair? You really just part the hair in the shape of the letter and braid it all together. If you think I need to make a video on that, comment and let me know, and then I'll go ahead and get that done. But yeah, I put the letter N in the front part of her hair. You will also notice, like I said earlier in the video, that a patch of her hair ended up slipping out of her hair when I was going through my little distress. But it's kind of hard to tell now because her hair is starting to grow back. And how does it start growing back? One, your hair grows regardless. Your hair might not look like it grows because of how you manage and maintain your hair. But to grow back bald spots and everything, especially bald spots that have not lost the hair follicles, like you'll be able to tell when you look at the spot whether or not hair follicles are growing back or does it look like that spot has been permanently damaged. But if that's not the case, just put the hair that is not as long as the rest of the hair with the rest of the hair that is long and just pretend like it has length. I don't know why that works, but it works. When you pretend like your hair is long, for some reason your hair actually do grow. So don't treat yourself like you bald headed. Shout out to my toothbrush. This clip right here is the perfect example of what I meant earlier when I was talking about some getting into all the tight spots a regular brush cannot. Like, do you see how close together those parts are for the letter N? They're real close, and if it weren't for that toothbrush, who knows what that brush would have did. So shout out to my toothbrush. That toothbrush is a symbol of being very resourceful. It's advertised to be used just for teeth, but we done turned the toothbrush into an edge brush, and I just turned the toothbrush into an actual brush. Like I said, ladies, get resourceful. As this video is coming to an end, let's do a quick recap. So this hairstyle does not take no more than 4 hours, whether it's 3 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 45 minutes. It really just depends on how often you do this style and if you already know what you're doing. A toothbrush is a very, very useful tool to have. I use the toothbrush to do my edges. I use the toothbrushes to get in the tight corners of my parts. That is my key to all my hairstyles. Blow drying your hair is not a requirement. It is not a necessity. Blow drying your hair is an advertised method to making your natural hair less prone to breakage and actually easier to braid. But it is possible, excuse me, it is possible to braid your hair in its natural state. Just make sure your hair is moisturized while you do it, and have your wide-tooth comb to be able to comb those naps out that unfortunately get tangled as you braid the hair. As you can see, as I continue to go down the shaft of braiding the hair, I will moisturize the hair when I feel that it is getting a little bit dry, so the hair can stay stretched and not so tangled together. This hairstyle contains between 10 to 12 braids. If you want more, all you have to do is split the braids in half and then braid up as is. But like I said, mamas, it all depends on you, what you have time for and what you know and is aware of with your time. So if you know, okay, I got a whole day to do hair and I want something that lasts a little longer than 2 weeks, go ahead and split them braids in half and braid it up smaller so it can last longer. Like I said, know how to manage your time properly when it comes to the hair and just be realistic with yourself. The hairstyle came out real cute. I didn't add no beads on it, and she loved her hairstyle. And the bows, just the cutest.